a jungle out there, man. It's a jungle. It's survival of the fittest, so to speak. Maybe it sounds a little bit unusual coming from someone my age, but I think like you gotta have that Don mentality. Like that's what L Don is. Like that's what I've been made to be, and that's what I like being.
Ta meuf elle va baver, ouais il va frotter la bavette. J'descends quand Hamza est garé, pilule bleue. Faut que j'arrête, le temps passe mal quand il fait que passer. Et ça déjà tu le savais, le temps passe mal quand il fait que passer. J'passe sur la rue, elle que j'ai pas avec. Shawty get chatting, she talk like she need me. Down and I told her get down on her knees. Shawty get chatting, she talk like she need me. Down and she told me get down on one knee. How you turn it back on me? Now you getting distant on me. You getting distant on me, then you turning your back on me. Now you get switched back from me. Bitch get the switch back from fresher than Fresh Prince, fresher than Elvis. I got recommended, confess the shit. I made these zeros, I spend these commas, I take the deficit. Still pull up magnificent. Product of a fuck the game, you're a product of what's left in it. Product of a fuck the game, you're a product of what's testing it. I got time for the dimes that I spent, time for the time that I spent. Rhyme and the time that I vent. Calm to the time where I ain't got the words and the flow it can vent. Give it off at your Vinci, and that off at your Givenchy. Audemars like a prince, I said money ain't all that convinced. Don't say honey's been all in that all on the fence. Love with the Fendi, Lord I got love for the times I had plenty. Love with the money, the cream, Givenchy.
Yo, what's good? Yeah, bro, just waiting. We good for today? Alright, see you in a bit, yeah? Alright.
It's only early, I'm worried about shit. It's only August, I'm worried about Christmas. Gotta get mom on the wish list. Broken and rich, broken but dreaming about risk. Too broke to be dreaming about shit. We on the list, done live lavish. Shit changed now, still ain't got a paddock. Life in a bitch, like murder she wrote. Shawty ain't there, she ain't never. Shawty ain't there, she ain't never show. Life in the bitch, she let me bro. Life in the bitch, like murder she wrote. Shawty ain't there, she ain't never. Shawty ain't there, she ain't never show. Life in the bitch, she let me bro. J'sais que ta meuf elle va baver, ouais il va frotter la bavette. J'descends quand Hamza est garé, pilule bleue. Faut que j'arrête, le temps passe mal quand il fait que passer. Mais ça déjà tu le savais, le temps passe mal quand il fait que passer. J'passe sur la rue, elle que j'ai pas avec. Toutes les rumeurs elles sont pas vraies, tu le sais.
It's a bit of a chilly one this morning, yeah. In my ends, Brick Lane, yeah. In my ends for a minute. If you're one of L Don's old fans, you would have known this is where I filmed Amen, yeah. That's time ago. You know, we've changed from then, but the ends haven't changed. You get me? So this is my ends, yeah. Brick Lane, about to take you through it. A couple of places that feel like home to me. You get me? You know, one of the main reasons I feel home here is the food, man. You know, growing up in Dubai, being Lebanese, the food has been a major issue in when I moved out. So shawarma, kebab things, like all of that is just clutch here. You know, you don't get that in Chelsea and that, you know. That's definitely why this place really hits close to heart, you get me? Brick Lane Barbers, yeah. Probably the only barber in the UK who knows how to deal with the Arab hairline. You know what I mean? The little wave thing, British barbers don't know how to deal with it, yeah. So that's definitely one of the places, you know, I gotta go to on a regular basis though. Alright, Serial Killer Cafe, yeah. If you know, you know. Like this is where you come when it's a little bit red in the eyes, you get me? So if you know, you know. If you're from this area, like, that's definitely home for you, you get me? It's been a long, cold walk, yeah, so quick refreshment, get into the Uber, and then we'll go to the interview spot that Disenraged has kindly prepared for us. Really looking forward to that, yeah, so quick refreshment, and then we're there.
still a Don. Let me cash it. Yeah. I'ma chase the dream, I'ma plot and I'll scheme. Chase for the team, take it back like y'all mean. Yeah, still in my easy jacket, white hoodie, white polo. Was a fiend doing white, had me going sour. You can hate on where I've been, you can hate on where I am. They done hate the man I've been, they gon' hate the man I am. Yeah, they gon' hate I will be. I'll be on their neck till they feel me, they gon' get it till they kill me. New name still a Don, if I'm being honest. New name still a Don, I got 25 on it. Yeah, she got 25 on it. She on the road, cause she 20.
Finally made it, bro. We're finally here. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a minute, bro.
How you been, man?
Good, man. You know how it is, man. Lockdown and all that. Keeping busy, trying to keep the mind active. Definitely working on a few projects, as you know. But yeah, definitely happy to be here, bro.
So to start this interview off, you know, I just want our audience to know, who is L Don? Specifically, where are you from? Where have you lived? And what's your cultural background?
Who is L Don, man? I don't think I know yet. It's definitely the trajectory of L Don is to be determined yet. But as for where I'm from, originally, mom Scottish, dad Lebanese. Born on the Isle of Man, little island, like 80,000 people. I grew up in Dubai, so definitely like a culture mix. You know, definitely reflect Dubai in that way. You know, anybody who grew up there knows that you get people from everywhere, you know, and I think I fit that for sure.
I mean, obviously, I know that your situation now is a bit different, but how did moving to the UK at a young age affect you and shape you as a person and artist?
Probably in two different ways. I think as a person, the moving away from Dubai more than the move to the UK affected me. I think, you know, growing up in Dubai, with it being such a bubble, I think moving away from it, no matter where you go, it's gonna burst that bubble. And I think that's what happened with me. So as a person, I definitely grew up. As an artist, I think what I was going through personally at that specific time is probably what affected me more, you know. And I think that's what's reflected in my music. You know what I mean? Definitely the emotions are definitely reflected in my music. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned leaving Dubai and how it was sort of like bursting a bubble in a sense. And what comes with that is obviously a collection of new experiences. And I want to know, after you left Dubai, what were the happiest and darkest periods of time in your life? Also, if you don't mind, what did that specifically entail?
The happiest moments off the top of my head, I know straight up. Fade, the music video shoot, that was crazy, man. That was so good. That was, you know, a 3-day shoot, coming back from the UK, organizing everything, you know, the flights, the models, renting the boats, getting the director sorted, going into the desert, filming everything, and that made me fall in love back with my music, you know, and for me, that's where I'm happiest, bro. Producing, you know, making the music. So that was definitely probably the happiest moment as of late. Probably the darkest. It's hard to say, man. I think I've been through a lot personally, but I'd say maybe the first year of university, maybe mixing in with groups that I probably shouldn't have, and the influences that brings. But definitely I moved on from that. So definitely the happier moments are coming back as I'm divulging more into my music again, you know?
Man, I'm really glad that you were able to get out of that dark period of time in your life. You know, it would be really sad to see wasted talent. And I really do want to focus on your brother, though, because you mentioned it before, but how has his instrumental influence helped you, not just as an artist, but also as a person?
Probably both, man, because financially, man's 4K deep at the moment, so he's looking to get some returns on that soon. But it's deeper than that, man. Yeah, I think both as a person and as an artist. I think he's definitely helping in a lot of aspects. He's definitely like a rock that I can depend on, like super reliable with everything. So yeah, I definitely value what he does for me more than, you know, the financials that he puts into the projects and helps me get out there, you know. But yeah, he's definitely my support system for sure.
Now shifting away from the personal side of things, I really want to know, how would you describe yourself as an artist?
Man, I always say this. I'm an album artist. First and foremost, I always preferred the progression in the music. I always thought that there was more of an art side to it, you know. Making hits probably was admittedly not my specialty. I mean, it's obviously something I'm working on, and obviously you need to make hits, like, if you want to make it. So that's definitely something I'm working on currently, and I think my newer stuff is gonna display that. But I think fundamentally, yeah, I'm an album artist, and I like to create projects start to finish, you know.
Backtracking a bit, sort of moving away from your music, which specific artists have been most influential towards you and helping develop your style?
Cole, J. Cole, man, that was the start. That was the start, man. I think I was 12 at the time. Yeah, it must have been 2013. I think the Sideline Story album had like recently come out, and I had listened to it the first time like a couple months before, and I remember my sister was in the house. She was having barbecue with her friends in the garden and stuff, and there was this track I liked on the album, Lost Ones, and I mean, it's talking about abortion, and it's talking about the story of abortion between him and this girl, and I was there. 12-year-old kid started rapping this in front of all her friends, you know, and that made me kind of connect with the music, you know. Lyrically, I fell in love with the way he tells stories, but I think definitely that's also when I fell in love with the performance side of things, you know, and displaying that emotional side of yourself, you know, which sometimes you can't communicate just in a conversation. So definitely Cole.
That was sort of an earlier influence. I also want to know which modern artists are most appealing to you and which ones do you naturally gravitate to?
Man, to be honest, it's hard to find nowadays stuff that compares to that. So the influence has changed in the same way that the game has changed naturally. I think probably some of the artists that I look at now is maybe like the A Boogie, the Lil Babies, the you know, those kind of artists who I feel like, you know, they have that modern auto-tune sound, but they still are able to, you know, create some albums that I can see a progression in, and that I can find that comfort in the artistry side of the music. You know, like Lil Baby, My Turn, or A Boogie, Hoodie Season. Those albums, you know, it has that modern sound, but I can still see that progression that I like to find in music. You know what I mean? So definitely, that's the kind of influence that I try to incorporate now into my music.
Moving back and focusing on your music specifically, rap has recently become quite mainstream and popular throughout the world. So how do you stand out in comparison to these other artists? What do you do specifically to make yourself known?
Man, that's a question that maybe a label would be asking me, bro. But nah, I think look, it's, you have to stay true to who you are, and that's definitely something that I like to do. I don't like to follow, you know, the trends, so to speak. But equally, I think you need to fit in sonically. Like, you need to fit in to people's playlists. Like, what are they listening to now? Do you fit into that? So that's questions that I've been asking myself, to be honest, especially when writing. I think the writing side and what I put into my music hasn't changed that much. But I think, and I wanna stay true to that. But I think maybe it's more the post production. I think in the post production you can kind of tweak it, make it sound a little bit more modern, and in that way you fit into people's playlists, but still you have that original sound because you stay true to who you are in the writing process. So that's the approach that I'm taking towards it now.
Another thing I want to know, do you think it's important to adjust your style and your tone to fit the current generation?
No, I don't think I'd be L Don if I did that. I think the whole persona, the whole person I'm trying to convey with L Don is
unapologetic in what I communicate. I think the essence of my music is always gonna supersede any trends that people try to jump on. I don't wanna jump on no trends. Like that's that's just not me. So I just want to stay me in my music. I know I have talent personally, and I just want to communicate that through the phases, through the motions, through the different albums, through the different singles. And I know people will buy it one day. It's just about growing the fan base. And that's the thing. I want to grow my own sound and my own following, and potentially create my own trends.
Now, considering the fact that you have quite a unique style of rap music, and you really use a mixture of tones and sounds, what's your typical creative process like? And how do you construct your music so meticulously?
I mean, I don't think I can answer that question fully on camera, but I think, look, the creative process changes. I think there's obvious ways that a lot of rappers inspire themselves, let's say, but I think, look, creativity can come from anywhere. I think just whatever hits you in the moment, and that's what works for me. My music is very emotional, so usually my music inspiration comes from moments where I'm feeling emotional. That's just my style. That's just the way I explain myself in my music and the way I communicate my feelings. So it's definitely probably when I'm feeling a little bit more emotional or going through something. So yeah.
Now I really want to delve into another section of your life. It seems like today there's a lot of finesse going on, people trying to one-up each other. What's your opinion on this? Do you agree with this sort of lifestyle, or are you against these types of business moves?
Yeah, I agree for sure, man. It's a jungle out there, man. It's a jungle. It's survival of the fittest, so to speak. Maybe it sounds a little bit unusual coming from someone my age, but I think you gotta have that Don mentality. That's what L Don is. That's what I've been made to be, and that's what I like being. I think, you gotta be savage. No one's feeling sorry for you, so you ain't gonna feel sorry for yourself.
Another important question, financially speaking, how do you plan to fund yourself within the future?
Financially speaking, I've been grinding a lot. I've been trying to educate myself in a lot of ways to try to support myself. So, recently I got my personal training qualifications. So I've been starting to train clients, and I think that kind of offers me a lot of flexibility, especially as a rapper. You don't really want to be working a 9 to 5 because you're not making enough to support yourself, and you don't want to be working as a banker because then you have no time to do what you want to do, right? So the personal training thing is definitely what I think will help me find a balance in my life, in terms of getting money to support myself in my music, but also having time enough to dedicate to my music.
Finally, where do you see yourself in 10 years? What specific goals do you have set in place to ensure your success?
10 years, man. 10 years. It's hard to say. I think it's hard to say. I think maybe 5 years down the line, I could definitely see myself moving away from London. It's been a home for me. It's been a hub for me. But I think, on your last point about moving forward and adapting, I think I need to change cities. I think definitely I want to kind of change my surroundings, and I definitely want that to reflect in my music. So 5 years down the line, I'll definitely be in a different country. It's hard to say where specifically in my career, but just definitely forward, just better than yesterday. That's my focus for now,
Well, that's all the questions I have for you, man. I mean, it's been great talking. I'm really happy that you came through and we did this. Best of luck in the future, my G.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you having me here.
100%.
In a bit, bro. Alright, so that was L Don, Disenraged, collaboration. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview, yeah? But keep your eyes peeled for Disenraged, yeah? It's much more than just these sick hoodies, yeah? This is a platform for artists to collaborate and do their thing, yeah? You get me? This is really an example of what Disenraged can do, yeah? So keep your eyes peeled because there's much more coming.
Time keep ticking, I keep looking at it. I keep sipping, I look like an addict. I'll be damned if I ever look past it. I'll be damned if I never go past it. I ain't never gon' pass. If a bitch won't smash, I'ma get that fast. I'm an addict. Gotta get that fast. Girl, the bag, couple bags in the paddock. I don't fuck with your flows, I don't fuck with your bitch. I don't fuck with your clothes, I don't fuck with your wrist. I don't fuck with your bros. You a Drake dick sucker, I don't fuck with your woes. Fuck with this hoe, so she won't get low, but she won't get low. It's just benefits, but she won't let go. But I can't fuck with that, so I let that bitch go. Okay, she came back for more, cause she fucking with it new me. She stuck up on the old me, she never really knew me, but she ain't read through me. She never gon' do